So we talked about how your atomic number, no matter what, every single time, always, always, always will equal your number of protons. Shh. Your number of electrons, please stop talking. Your number of electrons will equal your number of protons as long as it is a neutral atom. So when it says that word atom, that's what tells you that it's electrically neutral, which means your positive charges equal your negative charges. So that's why I have these three highlighted, that all three of those things are going to be equivalent for this entire chart. And then the last part that we wrote was that your mass number comes from the number of particles that contain mass or that have mass within the atom. So that's going to be your protons and your neutrons. Your protons plus neutrons every time will equal your mass number, or you can do it backwards by subtracting your mass number minus protons to equal neutrons. So going through this, calcium on my periodic table is number what? 20. If it's atomic number 20, then I know no matter what, the number of protons will be 20. And in this case, since it's an atom, it's also going to be 20 electrons. That makes it electrically neutral. There's still a lot of side conversations happening. Please stop. Shh. And then 20 plus 26, my number of protons plus neutrons, would give me 46 as my mass number. And that's the number that we write on the symbol when we abbreviate it. Remember that your elements have specific symbols that you need to use, so please make sure that you're copying it exactly how it is on the periodic table. Don't abbreviate it as just C, because that's something different. And it should be capital and then lowercase every single time. So I have calcium, and then 46 goes on the top left. And then this next one, I didn't give you the name of the element, but I gave you the atomic number, so you can look that up on your periodic table. Atomic number 8 is oxygen. Since it's atomic number 8, I know that that number 8 will always match my number of protons, and because it's electrically neutral, it's also going to equal my number of electrons. My number of neutrons plus protons will equal the mass number, but since I don't have neutrons, I do have mass number. I can do 17 minus 8 to equal 9 neutrons. And then my symbol is just O with 17 as my mass number up here. And then my next one, I didn't give you the name or atomic number, but I gave you protons, which again, we know always equals atomic number. So 26 is my atomic number here. I'm going to look that up on my periodic table, and that is iron. So iron is number 26. Again, this whole table is atoms, which are electrically neutral, so my protons will equal my electrons. And then here I gave you neutrons, so 26 protons plus 31 neutrons will give me a mass number of 57. And then your symbol, don't make it up, iron is abbreviated as Fe. Sorry, that's a weird E. And 57 is my mass number. Next we have Zn, which on your periodic table is zinc. This 64 up here represents the mass number, so I'm going to just copy that right here. Zinc on our periodic table is number 30. So I'm going to put 30 in my atomic number. If 30 is my atomic number, where else can I put that? Protons and electrons, because the atomic number will always equal protons. And then because it's electrically neutral, it will also equal electrons in this case. My neutrons comes from my mass number minus protons, so that would be 34. And then my last example is something that has 80 electrons. The only way that we're able to do this is by knowing that it is electrically neutral, so my electrons will equal my protons. So 80 electrons, I would also have 80 protons. If I have 80 protons, my atomic number is 80, and what element is that? Mercury. if I have 80 protons and 124 neutrons, what is my mass number? 204. Notice that these numbers throughout this entire chart are different. My protons and neutrons, they can match, but often they don't. And sometimes they can be really, really far away from each other. So we do not pull neutrons from our number of protons. We have to get it from our mass number. And then my symbol is Hg, and I put 204 up here. And then again, please remember that at no point when we did mass number did this have a decimal. We were not rounding from our periodic table. We did not use the periodic table at all to figure out this number. This number always came from adding protons plus neutrons. Good? What? I highlighted it just to point out that the mass number was what was up here. Okay. So mass number being that was this one. So I was just trying to use color to show you like that. And then the yellow ones were highlighted to show that those are all going to equal each other in this chart because it's neutral. Good question. Can I move on?